If you're a pregnant mom right now, I need you to hear this. And I need you to hear it without the guilt that usually gets piled on top of it. Up to 70% of pregnant women report experiencing significant stress during pregnancy and fertility. 70%. And the number one thing that most of them tell me when they finally walk through our doors is the guilt about the stress is actually worse than the stress itself. You're growing a human. You're exhausted. You're scared. You're trying to do everything right. And somebody has the audacity to tell you to just relax. And today, I want to talk about what's actually happening neurologically when stress accumulates during pregnancy. Not to scare you, but because understanding this is what gives you the power to do something about it. So stay with me. Let me start by separating two very different kinds of stress. Normal pregnancy stress is short term and it's manageable. You get a scary result at an appointment, you have a hard day at work, your nervous system responds, you move through it, and you return back to baseline. That kind of stress is not what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to be talking about is chronic stress, the kind that doesn't resolve, the kind where your nervous system gets to come back down. The kind where your nervous system never gets to come back down, where your HPA axis, your stress response system, is firing constantly, week after week, keeping cortisol and adrenaline elevated day and night. And here's what makes pregnancy different. Those hormonal shifts that come with growing a baby actually make your brain more sensitive to stress signals, not less. So things that felt manageable before pregnancy can feel completely overwhelming right now. And it's not a weakness, it's actually physiological change. The physical signs of a nervous system stuck in chronic stress look like sleep, no matter. So the physical signs of a nervous system stuck in chronic stress look like sleep that you can't seem to get no matter how exhausted that you are. Persistent headaches or tension in the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, your appetite changes, racing thoughts that you won't shut off at night, the irritability you can't explain, and that tight feeling in your chest that just sits there. Those aren't random pregnancy complaints. Those are your nervous system telling you it's stuck in sympathetic dominance. The gas pedal is floored with the brake pedal barely working. And the reason that matters goes way beyond how you feel. And this is the part that most prenatal education skips entirely, because that umbilical cord connecting you to your baby isn't just delivering oxygen and nutrients, it's also the pathway through which your stress hormones travel directly to your baby. So cortisol crosses the placenta, adrenaline crosses the placenta. So when you're flooded in that sympathetic overload, your baby is receiving the same signals at the most critical window of neurological development that will ever exist in their lifetime. So think about your baby's developing brain like wet cement. Whatever's present in that environment while it's setting is going to be there when it hardens. So your baby's amygdala, the brain's fear center, develops larger and more reactive under chronic prenatal stress. Their HPA axis, the very stress response system they'll be carrying through childhood, is being calibrated right now based on the neurological environment that they're developing in. If that environment is characterized by constant sympathetic activation, constant stress hormone flooding, their HPA axis learns that state as its baseline normal. Now, researchers call this fetal programming. And I want to be crystal clear here because this is not your fault. You didn't choose to be stressed, but it is something that we can measure and it is something that we can support. So, fetal programming sounds clinical. So, let me tell you what it actually looks like in children. It looks like a baby who comes home from the hospital and just can't settle. Inconsolable crying and colic that no one can explain, the sleep disruptions from the very first week, a nervous system that never seems to find its off switch. It looks like a toddler who's highly sensitive, who has big reactions to small things, that melts down at transitions, whose sensory processing feels off. Or a school age kid who struggles to focus, that can't regulate their emotions, that then get diagnosed with anxiety or ADHD, when in really at the root, what happened is that their nervous system was programmed in utero for a state of hypervigilance that they've been living in ever since. Now, research published in Development and Psychopathology found that infants of mothers with the highest prenatal stress levels showed 22% higher stress reactivity compared to babies of mothers with the lowest stress levels. More easily upset, harder to soothe, poorer recovery from distress. And the vagus nerve, the main nerve of the parasympathetic system, the one that controls digestion and immune function and emotional regulation and the ability to self soothe, shows measurable dysfunction in children of mothers with high prenatal stress. And this is why some babies seem high needs from day one. It's not necessarily bad luck and it's not bad parenting. It's nervous system dysregulation that started before birth. And it's something that we can begin addressing before birth, too. Now, at Haven Family Chiropractic, we use the Insight neurological scanning technology to do something that conventional prenatal care simply cannot do. We measure the actual state of your nervous system objectively. Now, there are 3 scans, and all of them are completely safe throughout your entire pregnancy because there's no radiation, there's no invasive procedures, there's nothing that goes near the belly at all. Just gentle sensors reading signals that your body's already producing. You see, the neurothermal scan acts like a stress thermometer for your autonomic nervous system. It shows us whether you're operating in survival mode or in a state where your body can actually rest, recover, and prepare for birth. The neurospinal EMG shows us exact areas of the body where there's tension and stress physically being stored, where your nervous system is stuck, holding instead of releasing. And then there's heart rate variability, the gold standard for measuring nervous system resilience. It shows us how your adaptable system is when it's facing stress. A healthy HRV means you can move through stress and return to calm. A depleted HRV means your system is white knuckling it. Now, these scans give us a complete picture of what your nervous system is doing in real time. And then, this is the most important part, they give us a roadmap. So we don't just guess at your plan of care. We build it around your specific findings and then use gentle, specific, neurologically focused chiropractic care designed to help the nervous system shift out of that sympathetic dominance towards parasympathetic function. From that gas pedal mode to our brake pedal mode. And then we rescan, we track the progress. We have the objective data showing us that the nervous system is actually shifting, often before you even notice it on your own. So you cannot eliminate pregnancy stress. Nobody can, but you don't have to. What you need is a nervous system that can regulate through the stress, that can move through the hard moments and come back to a baseline, that can create a neurological environment for your baby that communicates safety and not danger. That's exactly what we focus on here at Haven, and it all starts with your first set of tests. So if you're pregnant right now or you know someone who is, I want you to come see us. Check the link within our bio to learn more and schedule your consult and the neurological scans. Or DM us the word stress and we'll send you all the information that you need to get started. And you want to go a little bit deeper, we have an upcoming Birth and Beyond workshop where we walk through all of this live. And that link is in the bio as well. Your baby's best neurological start begins with your nervous system. And so let's make sure that it's ready.